This morning we're listening to That Boy and a lot of other oldies. Such a beautiful song, and John's vocal performance on that is like probably one of the best of his career, especially the bridge. Oh, well, this boy would be happy just to love you, just to love you. But oh my, yeah. We'll do this later, okay? All right. We're gonna talk a little bit though. Good day to you, honey. Good day to you, Johnny. Just ease into it. It's gonna be a long day, but a good one. There's a storm approaching, and you're feeling it in the air pressure. It's almost 0 degrees, which is cold for New York City. Up in the frozen tundras of the mountains where we reside some of the time up there, it's much colder. Right. Yeah, we got a place way up north. I'd love to get back there one day, but who knows? Who knows? We'll get there. We can go there today if you want. It just, it'll be in another dimension, but we can go. You really want to go to that dingy little cabin? We could go someplace nicer. All right, let's go someplace warm. All right. Deal. How about Hawaii, hula girl? I'd love to go to Hawaii. Let's go to Hawaii today. That was definitely one of my favorite places on earth. Truly a paradise. Anyway, did you want to talk about the creation of another Beatles song? Yes. She Loves You. Was written by Paul and myself about a week after the Bob Wooler incident, which we documented on our blog, and where I beat up Bob Wooler for suggesting that I was having homosexual relationships with Brian Epstein. And the reason I beat him up so badly was because I drunkenly perceived that Lena and Paul McCartney were in cahoots and becoming closer than me and Lena, right? So I went into a drunken frenzy, which I was always really pretty good at, but this time it was particularly bad, and I almost killed that guy. You almost killed Stuart once too, right? Yeah, I had problems. Anger management and alcohol. So, following at the party, Paul very gingerly said to me, because Lena was very upset, I wasn't really speaking to her, not because I didn't still love her, but because I was very ashamed. And at that time I thought, she really does have a strong connection with Paul now. If I was her, it wouldn't even be a contest. I would pick Paul. He's much better person. I really had it in for myself. Yeah. And Lena wouldn't talk to me. Or rather, she couldn't talk to me. I was not responding. So in desperation, she did speak to Paul and said, "Can you please talk to him? Tell him that I will always love him no matter what he does. That's just the way it is. And that we can get past this. But him not talking to me it's really killing me." And Paul didn't want to do it. He said, "I don't even want to go near this topic." Yeah. because look what he did to Bob Wooler, and and really, I'm kind of in the whole mix. I'm right in the middle of this mix, yeah. But Lena begged Paul and said, "Speak to him." And then she kind of sadly and jokingly said, "If nothing else, we can get a song out of this." And damned if that's not where "Please Please Me" came from. Please Please, no, sorry. She Loves You. Same song, right? Sort of. Is Please, we'll talk about Please Please Me another time, but that has to do with sort of you in a roundabout way. But we won't go into Please Please Me now. Let's just stay on She Loves You. So Paulie did. He said, I'm going to say very little about this because the more I say, the more guilty you make me feel. And I refuse to feel guilty about this. You were the one acting up at that party. You were the one skirt chasing every floozy in the room. You were the one who beat up Bob Wooler. It was my birthday party, and damned if you didn't nearly ruin the whole day for everyone. God knows you ruined it for Bob Wooler. But I'm here on Lena's behalf, and she says she loves you. And she will never not love you. And that you're being ridiculous. And she also says that if nothing else, we can get a song out of this. And what Paul is saying right now, and damned if Johnny didn't roll up his sleeves and say, let's start writing a song then. Because I know how I want it to go. Mm-hmm. And that's how She Loves You was written. She says you hurt her so she almost lost her mind, but now she says she knows you're not the hurting kind. And how does that song start? She loves you, right? With a love like that, you know it can't be bad. You know it's up to you. I think it's only fair. Pride can hurt you too. Apologize to her. Mm-hmm. And I did. And we wrote that song 1 week after the Wooler incident. It was released the week after Lena's very first birthday, and it hit #1 a month later on the charts. And that is the history of She Loves You. Amazing, yes. More Twin Flame trivia. Mm-hmm. So we'll be blogging that today, and people are finding these entries very interesting. Yesterday we talked about the creation of Drive My Car. Yes, many of these, if not most of our early material, especially Lena was right in the mix, writing those songs with us. She also was the one who wrote the line, "Pride can hurt you too." Right. And this is the funniest thing. When all my life I never knew what they were saying, the line, "Pride can hurt you too." When I sang along with that song, I was like, "Frightened her to do." I didn't know what they were saying. And you couldn't Google it or anything. And until John came back and connected with me in 2014 and we listened to it together, he said, "You know what that line is, don't you?" And I said, "What is it?" And he said, "Pride can hurt you too." I said, "Oh, that's a great line. I never realized what you guys were singing." And he said, "You crazy girl, that is your lyric. You wrote that lyric." Isn't it funny how that works? Isn't it funny how that works? Anyway, so let's get this out there, and then we have the rest of the day for meditation and private stuff. Private stuff. Praise be God and Mother. We're off. Twin Flame Mission rocks. Twin Flame Mission rocks. Don't forget, she loves you, and I love her.